Hello and welcome to a new video or a new vlog or something in between. It's not a normal vlog, but it's gonna feel kind of like a vlog. I hope. That is the intention at least. This is the first time I'm really speaking to you all in the new year, but it's also not. It'll make sense when you see the next vlog. I've completely forgotten how to vlog, I feel like. I've been taking time off. And I'm going to continue taking a bit of time off of vlogging, but I'm using the buffer that what I gave and what I got for Christmas videos give me every year, and I'm pausing my break in vlogging on this one day. It is New Year's Day as I am filming this, so I'm going to be vlogging today. I'm filming some bits for this video, and then I'm going to vlog the rest of the day, and you will see that as the next video. That will be the official first vlog of 2024. This is kind of a mishmash of vlog, 2023 reflections, and my 1 second everyday video. So there's going to be lots of B-roll footage mixed in. Basically, what happened was I thought I didn't vlog Twixmas last year, and I couldn't remember if I'd vlogged New Year's Eve, and I just really wasn't feeling like vlogging New Year's Eve this year. But I looked back at last year's videos, or now 2 years ago, and saw that I had in fact vlogged the week after Christmas. So I had been taking clips of things throughout the past week since Christmas, so I did have vlog footage. I just don't have this kind of intro and connecting bit. So yeah, I've got a lot of vlog footage, and I ended up doing quite a lot. So, well, sort of, not really, which was the intention. Anyway, I feel like this is going to be all over the place, so just bear with me. Get cozy. It's going to be a bit chatty. This will probably end up being a full-length 45-minute video from me, but which, if you're new here for the new year, hi, I'm Andrea. I talk a lot. If that bothers you, probably don't subscribe. I will miss you. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but I can't change who I am, and I talk a lot. But yes, I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time writing instructor at a university, and I'm a part-time content creator and indie author. I have 7 novels published now. I'm still getting used to that. The 7th one is only a couple months old. But yeah, it is technically, as I'm filming this, January 1st, but I'm putting 2024 on pause and going back to 2023, just for this moment. So what have I been up to since Vlogmas ended? Not a whole lot, and yet it feels like it's been such a busy and full week. There's dogs outside my window. So on the 26th, I packed up and left my parents' house and came back over here to my apartment and unpacked everything, and I got cozy and then got horizontal on the couch, basically. Did a lot of reading and went for a lot of hikes and watched a lot of YouTube and TV and movies in the afternoon, and basically just had a super relaxed, super cozy week. Time ceased to exist. The fact that Christmas was on a Monday just seemed to make it even harder to remember what day of the week it was, like more than usual for that time of year. So yeah, there was lots of yummy leftovers that I brought home, plus so many cookies, and yeah, it was an absolutely lovely week. I could ramble on and on about it, but I think it's better to just show you. So let's roll back the clock even further and go back and relive a super cozy, super magical Twixmas. So that brings us up to New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve was just a super quiet day at home here on my own, which honestly I really like. I did some reading and then I went for my hike, and like we just have to pause for a moment for this hike. We'll talk about the rest of New Year's Eve in a little bit, but my New Year's Eve hike, I have been doing some amazing hikes over this week. Since Christmas, they really have been fantastic. And like, as you saw in Vlogmas, there were some amazing hikes throughout Vlogmas. My winter solstice hike was really beautiful. Mom and I's Christmas Eve hike, the mist and the low clouds and how foggy it still kind of was. I mean, that is hands down one of the most magical hikes of this entire year. But my New Year's Eve hike was amazing. Like, the winter solstice hike was great. The Christmas Eve hike was great. Didn't make it for a hike on Christmas Day like I thought I would. But like, there were some amazing hikes throughout Vlogmas. And then throughout Twixmas, there were some amazing hikes. I don't know what, maybe it was the magic of New Year's Eve. I don't know. But I went out hiking thinking, first trying to like set my expectations, because I had hurt my shoulder before Christmas. It was like around the back of my shoulder, but then also down like the front of my shoulder and going up into my neck. Just horrible pain, far worse than usual. Not excruciating, not like level 9 or 10, but definitely like 8, like worse than I usually deal with on a daily basis, far more acute and sharp than I normally deal with. And so even though it was my shoulder and not like my knee, which had also been bothering me, that had been bothering me prior to the 20th and prior to the physical therapy appointment and prior to the Christmas holidays, it's like I was already dealing with a sore, aching, in pain knee, and then my shoulder was bothering me. And so I'd been really careful around Christmas and the week after Christmas, because I was noticing that even just walking, like the vibrations, the pressure of just hiking, just walking, would transfer all the way up my body, and I could feel it in my shoulder. And so like at the start of the hike, my shoulder wouldn't be that bad, but by the end of the hike, my shoulder just would feel really achy and sore and tight and not happy. And so I'd been doing pretty easy hikes for me throughout Twixmas and not really pushing myself that much. I'd discovered or like explored a new, to me, trail that was kind of between two trails, ran parallel between two trails that I had done a lot. And so that was kind of exciting, as it wasn't that difficult and felt fine with both my knee and my shoulder. And so for New Year's Eve, I thought, okay, I want to do like a longer hike. I want to do what would feel like a more special hike for New Year's Eve. Like, that's just something I like doing. I like, for things like winter solstice and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, if I hike on Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, like the big kind of special holidays in the winter when I'm hiking, I like doing just a special hike. But I really wasn't sure what I could manage with my knee and my shoulder. Well, by New Year's Eve, my knee and my shoulder were both doing pretty well, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna push myself as far as elevation and incline, but let's see if I can do a longer hike. So that's what I went for. I managed 3.17 miles, and using the new trail that I had explored the day before, I created a new loop that I hadn't really done before. I'd done sections of it before, but not this exact loop. And so that right there was really cool. But then the sky, it had been cloudy, and I really thought there wasn't going to be much of a sunset for New Year's Eve, because it was so cloudy, and there were some breaks in the clouds along the western horizon. So I thought, okay, we might get some sun peeking through the clouds. By the time the sun was coming down, and about partway through my hike, the sun did hit the first of those breaks in the clouds, and the light over the mountains was just incredible. They looked so dark behind the mountains because there were still dark clouds back there, and the sun wasn't quite reaching up there, but it was reaching the mountains. And then the sun dipped again, and I thought, okay, we're not gonna get a proper sunset, but this was still like really cool, and I was still happy with what I'd seen. But then we did get the most magical sunset, and words can't really describe it. So I'm just going to show you the hike. I don't know exactly how much footage I got, but I think I got a fair bit of the hike, and I know I could not stop taking pictures and video throughout the sunset because it just kept getting better and better and better. So I'm gonna let you all watch that. My iPhone is not gonna do it justice, but it's still gonna be better than listening to me talk about it. So enjoy a just spectacular, magical, and beautiful New Year's Eve hike with me. So that sunset, like, I really hope, like, I haven't looked at the footage on my laptop yet, so I don't know, like, how it actually turned out, but oh my goodness. Like, I really thought when it went behind the last, like, big gap in the clouds, I thought, okay, that's it. But then I started to notice, as the sun was dipping, like, there was just the sliver of clouds above the mountains, and I thought, we're not going to see anything anymore. But at the very bottom, there was a dip in the mountains, and I could see, like, a different color there. And I realized that was another break in the clouds right where the sun comes. And so I watched that spot, and it just started getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until finally I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the sun. And the glow, again, I don't think my phone really caught it, but the glow in the sky, I mean, I was just mesmerized. I was absolutely enthralled. I could not look away. I kept thinking, it's done. You need to just go get in your car and get home and get on with New Year's Eve. But I just could not stop looking at it. It was just magical and just incredible. And then I looked behind me, and some magic of science, like I don't understand, like light, the science of light and refraction and reflection and all these different things, it's beyond me. I wish I'd studied it more. I wish I understood it better. It's science, but it's magic. I mean, what is science but magic as far as I'm concerned? So I looked behind me, and like I knew the sun was down. I knew the sun was like fully down beyond the mountain, but it must have been something about the way the clouds were last night. The clouds behind the McDowell Mountains turned pink. And it was just spectacular. It just was absolutely spectacular. And I absolutely loved it. It was one of the most magical hikes and sunsets I have had, I think, all year long, like of all of 2023. That sky, we've had some incredible skies and we've had some incredible sunsets in 2023, but that was just something else. It was just magical, absolutely magical. So that was the New Year's Eve hike, and then after that came home, got myself cleaned up, got cozy and settled in for just a really cozy and relaxed New Year's Eve here at home at the apartment. And I had my bottle of Prosecco from Marks & Spencer that I got at Target, which turned out to be really yummy, so that was good. And then watched The Holiday, finished reading that Aaron Christmas book that I'd started reading, did some journaling, and just had a super quiet evening. So I will let you all see the cozy and quiet New Year's Eve at home. So that was New Year's Eve. Ended the night as I have done for the last, I don't know how many years now, watching the London fireworks on YouTube. So the joy of the fact that London is 7 hours ahead of us means that by midnight, Arizona time, the BBC has put up the video on YouTube and I can watch it. I noticed it was up when I first turned the TV on at like 7 to sit down and have dinner. That's the other nice thing. If I ever feel like I just don't want to stay up until midnight on New Year's Eve, I can watch fireworks from around the world as early in the evening as I want and then go to bed. But I did make it until midnight and watched the London fireworks. Heard fireworks outside, and you'll hear more about everything that happened after midnight in the next video. But everything leading up to midnight was just super cozy. I did start hearing fireworks before midnight though, to be honest. Yeah, New Year's Eve was a quiet one, but it was a really nice one. I had a really, really lovely time here at home. I feel like There's so much pressure around New Year's Eve, and I certainly felt that a lot more when I was younger, to go out and do something, even if you're just going out for the sake of going out. And I've definitely had New Year's Eves where I've made myself go out because it just felt pathetic or whatever to stay home. And honestly, some of my worst New Year's Eves have been the ones where I've forced myself to go out just for the sake of being somewhere and doing something for New Year's. If I had an invitation to something I truly wanted to go to, then that would be completely different. Like, I'm not opposed to doing something fun and exciting for New Year's, but that just isn't what happens. And here in Phoenix, it's like, I don't want to drive anywhere if I then have to drive home. If I can go somewhere and spend the night, totally different. But if I have to go somewhere and then drive home after midnight, that means I can't drink for New Year's Eve, which isn't entirely fun. I would like at least one small glass of Prosecco. But also driving home after midnight, even if I haven't had anything to drink and I'm fine with that, like even if drinking wasn't an issue for me, then you've got everyone else who's been drinking. And the last thing I need is to start New Year's Day and start a new year with a car accident because someone's not driving right. So yeah, I don't go out really for New Year's anymore. And I have learned and come to embrace just quiet, cozy nights at home for New Year's Eve. And I watched The Holiday because I hadn't watched that yet this season, and that's a good one for New Year's. It really was just a lovely evening. So that brings us all the way up through New Year's Eve and the very end of 2023. One of the things I did over Twixmas and last night was a lot of journaling. I have done the 2023 portions of both the Year Compass and the Unravel Your Year workbook by Susanna Conway. So I've done the 2023 portions, and I kind of decided to just wait until it was actually 2024 to start filling out the 2024 portions of both workbooks. So I haven't set any of my 2024 intentions or goals or anything like that. So that'll be in a future video. We will go over that, just not today. But this being kind of the last 2023 focused vlog and video, I thought we could go over some of my 2023 reflections. So after doing the 2 workbooks, I dug out my journal. So like, I've just got this really pretty Ted Baker journal, and I kind of like the idea of just a journal I can pick up when I need it and not put the pressure to journal every day. I'm not a daily journaler. So I just thought I would share a little bit of what I wrote on New Year's Eve, because I feel like it kind of summarizes some of the things I was writing in the other workbooks. So just some general reflections. 2023 went really fast. I just feel like it went really fast, and like faster than any of the previous few years have gone. 2023 just also felt like it's been the calmest year of the last several, like since even my PhD. Like, I just feel like I'm not all the way there yet, but I've gotten a lot better at slow living and just slowing down. I've gotten better at balancing how much of my life I give to work and thinking about work and stressing about work, and how much I give to other areas of my life. I also am getting better at letting go of things and letting go of stress. I wrote here, I know this year has been stressful and has had some down days, but overall it's also been filled with so many moments of joy and magic and coziness. I feel happier than I've felt in years. Not all the time, but far more often than usual, more often than ever before, and I'm handling the stress and anxiety a lot better. I still have rough moments, but they don't seem to knock me sideways as badly as before. And that's been a big thing that I've noticed in all this journaling and reflective work that I've been doing over the past week. I can think of a few moments where there have been panic attacks or whatever. But I'm also starting to notice what the triggers for those are, and I'm getting better at managing things to a point where it doesn't get to those real extremes where I'm spending days or weeks in a really down mood, where I'm crying off and on all day long for several days in a row, which used to happen. You know, my stress and anxiety used to be so bad. The seasonal depression in the summer used to be so much worse, and I would get so low in the summer. Things that used to really bother me, or things that, you know, the way my body just kind of changes throughout each month and the cycle that I go through, used to feel much more uncontrollable and unpredictable. And now I feel like, no, I know what's happening. I know why I'm feeling this way. I'm able to process it better. And so it does just end up feeling like I'm able to hold on more to the good moments and the happy moments and the moments of coziness and magic, and focus on those and not focus as much on the negative things. And it's kind of like compliments and criticism. You can be given 100 compliments and one negative thing. You will focus on that one negative thing someone told you, and you will ignore the 100 compliments and positive things that were said about you. Like, I think any author, creative, teacher, you know, I can get so many lovely compliments from my students, but I will remember that one negative thing someone said in my evals. I feel like this year has been kind of like that, but in the reverse. Normally, in past years, I can remember all of the really horrible things that happened, and it's harder to recall the really positive things. This year, I feel like when I think back on the year, all I can really think about and remember are all the magic hikes and all the cozy days reading and writing here in the apartment. And like, even in the summer, you know, I put up the blackout blinds or the blackout curtains, and I made my office extra cozy, and I took advantage of not teaching full time for 3 months, and I focused on my books and my writing and reading. I read so much this year, 119 books total this year. We're going to talk about reading goals and stuff in another future vlog, but like, I read so many amazing books. I went on so many incredible hikes. I had so many gorgeous days just relaxing here at home. I saw friends either in person or online. I spent time with my mom and my dad and the dogs, and like, that's what I'm remembering. And I feel like this is the first year where I'm getting to the end of the year and the good feels like it far outweighs any of the not so good that I can remember. Now, it's also been the first year in a long time where there hasn't been something like truly horrible that's happened, either on the small scale of horrible or on the big catastrophic scale of horrible. It feels like overall it's been a much steadier, stable, like even year. There have been some really high highs with like publishing The Candle Shop of Wix and Whimsy, and finishing first drafts of other projects, and restarting, reigniting projects like Project Darkness. So there have been some really good moments and some really like high points, high points, but the lows just haven't been that low this year. And I'm very grateful for that, because I do not take that for granted. I do not, like, I don't know what 2024 has in store for me. It might be a year where the lows are just as low as the highs are high. I've certainly had years like that before, where the highs are really, really high, but then the lows are also really low. And I think as you get older, you have to learn how to ride those waves. You have to learn how to enjoy the high points, but also ride out the low points, and just trust that neither is going to last forever. You know, the highs aren't going to stay that high forever, and the lows aren't going to stay that low forever. You will eventually get back to kind of level ground. So I don't think last year was I don't think how good I feel about 2023 is just because I've gotten better at dealing with things. Part of it is that it just was a good year overall. It wasn't an incredible year. It wasn't like a year of amazingness. It was a year of quiet amazingness, and that's what I'm holding on to. And I don't mind that I didn't go on a million trips and have all of these incredible experiences. It was a nice, cozy year here at home, and that's kind of what I needed. One thing I also noticed is I'm feeling happier and more at peace in my own company. And while I still get lonely, it happens less often. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a vlog, but I've deleted all the dating apps off of my phone. Maybe I'll try again sometime, but for right now, dating just isn't for me. It was just making me feel so stressed and so anxious and so sad. Every time I logged on to any of the dating apps, it just felt so bleak and hopeless. And I could feel my shoulders getting tense, and I could feel how anxious I was getting. It was just miserable. So we're done with that for now. So I'm not going to focus on dating for a little while. I just want to focus on my writing and focus on my career. And if I meet someone, then cool, but I'm not actively seeking it out for at least the first half of 2024. And then maybe at the end of the spring semester, I'll reevaluate my stance on that. So yeah, I haven't yet set any goals or intentions for 2024. I'll do that over the next week or so, but I've done most of my reflection work, and overall it has really been an amazing, simple, quiet, cozy year, and I'm focusing on the joyful moments. I don't know, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. It's been an incredible year, and I'm very grateful for my cozy apartment. Like, I complain about it at times, and part of me would love to live somewhere just a tiny bit bigger. A 2-bedroom would be nice, so I can actually have a dining room and an office and not have to choose. But, you know, overall, I love my apartment. I love that I've made this my home for over 10 years now, which I never expected when I first moved in. And I love being so close to the McDowell Mountains and going hiking there. You know, I'm grateful for a job that gives me the flexibility to do my writing and YouTube. I'm grateful for all of you. You know, this year my channel the analytics have been all over the place. And I don't really get into that because discussions of analytics and stuff is only interesting to other content creators. It's kind of boring to people who are just viewers and consumers of YouTube. But I've gained so many subscribers throughout the year. It has definitely trickled down. There's not been a whole lot new people. There have been a few throughout Vlogmas. So if you've joined me since Vlogmas, thank you. You are part of a very small and select group that decided to click subscribe throughout November and December, but I'm very grateful. I've always said I don't do this for the numbers. I don't do this for the stats or the analytics. I make these videos because they're the most consistent I've been at chronicling my life, as evidenced by the fact that, like, I didn't write in this journal from August through December 31st. So I'm not good at journaling, but I'm pretty good at vlogging. And I say this all the time. I make these videos for me. I upload them to share them with all of you and just anyone who feels like watching. But I would make these videos even if no one watched my channel anymore. Even if it was just my mom and a few friends who watched, I would keep making these videos. So it's really special when someone decides to subscribe and watch. And there are a lot of you who have been here for the last few years now, and it felt like the first few years I was on YouTube, there really weren't that many people watching. It took me 3 years just to hit 1,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone for any small YouTuber. But now we're over 4,000, and I don't really set goals. I am hoping that sometime this year in 2024, we'll hit 5,000. I think 5K is a really nice even number. But I think YouTube and this year and seeing how the numbers and the stats and the trends have increased and then decreased, and like the number of subscribers per month has gone down at some points, but then other analytics have gone up, and the view time and watch time and stuff has stayed pretty consistent. And so I know that of those of you who are watching, I've got a really wonderful group of people who are watching consistently and watching the whole vlog and really engaging with the content. And you know, the comments that I see, whether you comment once in a while or every single vlog, or if you never comment but you're watching regularly. There are people I know who never comment on the vlogs, but then they DM me on Instagram or something. I know that I've got a really, really lovely, amazing group of people watching these vlogs and watching these videos, and I do not take that for granted. And you have, you know, 2024 is going to be the year that we reach the 8-year mark of this channel. And when I started, I never thought I would still be doing this 8 years later. I never thought I would get to 100 subscribers, let alone over 4,000. And if YouTube has taught me anything, it's that if you stick with it, it does work out. Like you will achieve things that seemed unachievable in the beginning if you just stick with it long enough. So it might take me another 8 years, but maybe we'll hit 10K at some point, and who knows, maybe one day I'll hit 100K and get a bright shiny play button if YouTube hasn't completely, you know, disappeared by that point. Who knows how long this platform will last, but you know, 2023 has been a year of amazing vlogs, and I look back at some of those videos and some of the moments that I've shared with you, and I'm just so grateful that I have that to share with all of you. And I'm looking forward to a whole new year of vlogging and content on this channel. So to end this video, and before we dive into a whole new year of content, it is time for the annual 1 second every day clip. There's an app I use. The app is free. There is a premium version that like gives you cloud storage and stuff, but I just use the free version. I have managed to share my 1 seconds every day for each month on Instagram. Every month as on the last day of each month, I've uploaded the 31 second video for that month, but this will be the first time we're seeing the whole year in one string. I haven't even downloaded the whole year yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'm filming this bit without having seen that part, so I'm not sure exactly what we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna wrap up this vlog and I'm gonna go. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I hope you enjoy the 1 second every day in a moment. If you have enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We've got a whole fresh year of content coming, and I would love to have you with me. Let me know your highlight or top 3 highlights or top lesson learned, just some reflection on 2023 in the comments, or you can leave me some fireworks and champagne emojis for New Year's Eve. So yeah, with all of that being said, I'm now going to say thank you for watching this vlog, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. And without any further ado, let's roll back time all the way back to January 1st, 2023 and relive 2023 in 1 second every day. I made it to the top. silly pups do?
Perhaps a little bit.
The whole team.
Just unmindful.